in front of you, right? So the basis of classification, basis of animal classification, animal classification. There are further criteria on the basis of which animal has been classified, right? The first and foremost classification is on the basis of level of organization. Level of organization. Level of organization. So what is the level of organization? Level of organization means there are certain animals which are just collection of the cell, right? So that is the cellular level of organization. I'm just going to brief you. Cellular level of organization. They are just collection of the cell. For sake of example, sponges are the just collection of the cell. So we can say that example that these the organization body is not organized in the form of the tissue. That is just cellular level of organization. Then there is a tissue level organization. So some of the animals, the tissue level organization is found, organ are not present. Tissue level organization. For sake of example, platyhelminthes, tissues are present over there, but organs are not present over there, right? Finally, last but not the least, that is the organ level organization. So organ level organization, there are animals where the organ level of organization is found, like we the human, and even in insect arthropoda, right? So first basis of the classification was the level of organization. On what level of organization is body is organized. The second point is that the body plan, right? That is the body plan. That is the second basis of the classification. What is the body plan? Body plan is that either it's a blind sac plan, blind sac plan. What is blind sac plan? In blind sac plan, there will be only one pore. That opening will be, for sake of example, if you will see the hydra, there is just only single opening. That is the mouth and that is the anus, right? So in hydra, there will be single opening, right? The single opening will be there, means there will not be any difference between the mouth and the anus, right? Both of the part will be same. So food will come from here and it will go from here, right? So that is called blind sac body plan. And the second body plan, that is called tube within tube plan, right? Tube within tube plan. What is that tube within tube plan? For sake of example, if this is a fish, right? Let's consider it's a fish. We consider first tube as this body, right? We consider first tube as this body. So this is the first tube. Then what will happen? Inside this face, there is another tube which is called alimentary canal, right? Or digestive tube, alimentary canal, right? So tube within tube plan, right? So we consider body as the first tube and we consider this alimentary canal as the second tube. This is called tube within tube plan, right? This is the third criteria of classification of animals. Second criteria, sorry. What is the third criteria of classification of the animal? That is the symmetry of body. Symmetry of body. What kind of symmetry? You must have listened this symmetries. First, there are radial symmetry, right? So there may be radial symmetry. In radial symmetry, like starfish, draw a line from any of the plane, and you will be able to divide starfish into two equal parts, right? Right? You will be draw a line from any line which is passing through the center, and you will be able to divide this starfish into two equal parts. Then the second symmetry, that is the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. In bilateral symmetry, you can divide, for sake of example, it's a frog, right? Or frog or lizard, whatever you want, you can consider that. Suppose that this is a lizard, right? You can divide lizard into two equal parts with the help of only single line. Only single line can divide. So this, because this lizard have, so if you will cut this lizard from the here, then you can divide the lizard into two parts. So you will say that these lizards have the bilateral symmetry. And the third kind of the symmetry where symmetry is not found, right? You can say that is the asymmetrical, right? So body may be asymmetrical. asymmetrical. So that is the third criteria for the classification of the animal, right? This was the third criteria. And so these are the basic criteria on the basis of which we have divided the animal or classified the animal, right? So that is the symmetry. The third, is there any more criteria? One more thing. Yes, segmentation. Fourth one, segmentation. Segmentation means body is divided into segment or not divided into segment, right? In segmentation, there is first kind of the segmentation, that is the metameric segment. Can you tell me what is the metameric segmentation? Metameric segmentation. Metameric segment. In metameric segmentation, this is called true segmentation. In true segmentation, if there is any organism, so if body is divided, suppose that this is an organism. If body is divided, give me 1 second. In metameric segmentation, suppose that this is an insect, right? If the body of insect is divided externally, then it will be divided into segment internally, right? So that is called metameric segmentation. And metameric segmentation is considered as the true segmentation. True segmentation. Right? So that is metameric segmentation. So another segmentation, that is the segmentation that is called false segmentation. That is called pseudo segmentation. So pseudo means false. Pseudo segmentation. So in pseudo segmentation, this will be false segmentation. False segmentation. In false segmentation, body will be divided externally into multiple parts, but internally body will not be divided. Suppose that this is an animal. So externally the body will be divided. It will look like that body is divided externally, but internally body is not divided into segment. This is called pseudo segmentation or metameric or false segmentation, right? And one more criteria, third, fifth criteria, that the animal will be diploblastic or diploblastic. Diploblastic and triploblastic. What is that? Look. So what is the diploblastic? There are very few animals which are the diploblastic. So what happened when fertilization takes place? Try to understand this concept. What is the diploblastic? What is the triploblastic? First, what happened? This is an egg of an animal. This is the sperm of animal. Egg and sperm of animal both get fused. Both get fused, and they form the zygote. Further, what happened? Zygote divide, right? So in some of the animal, zygote is divided into two parts. Try to understand. This zygote divided, and there are just two layers, right? Two layers. This upper side layer is called ectoderm, and inner side layer, this is called endoderm. Try to understand me, between ectoderm and endoderm, there is not any layer, just a layer of, just not layer, just there is a liquid kind of the substance. This is called mesogilia. It is made up of some cells called mesogilia, right? So there are basically only two layers, ectoderm and endoderm. Then whole body of animal is divided, whole body of animal is formed from only two layers, from ectoderm and endoderm. This kind of development, if any organism, if any animal get developed from the two layers only, This is called diploblast. What happened in some advanced animal? There is another kind of the development can be seen. That is called triploblastic development, right? This zygote will divide into multiple. It will make an embryo with a multiple layer, right? And that embryo will have 3 layers, right? So there will be 3 layers. The upper layer is called ectoderm. Middle layer is called mesoderm. Inner layer is called endoderm. Right? From these 3-layer development of an animal take place, right? Like we, the human, we are the triploblastic. So we call that triploblastic animal, right? So triploblastic animal develop from 3-layer and diploblastic develop from the 2-layer. So this is the criteria for the classification of an animal. These are the criteria, basic criteria. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep on raising the question if you have any doubt. I'm just telling you, and I have considered, like I just told you that what is the criteria for the classification, because this is very basic kind of this thing, but I don't want if the question comes from here and you miss it, right? So that is the criteria for the classification. Now we have divided animal into 2 categories. Animals. So first, on the basis of level of organization, cellular level of organization, there is only one phylum which have the cellular level of organization, and this is the porifera, phylum of sponges. So sponges, their body is divided into just body is made up of cell. It's a collection of cell, right? Then tissue level of organization. Further, there is a phylum Coelenterata. Coelenterata is represented by the now it is called Cnidarians, right? This is represented by Hydra, right? So their body is divided into tissues. But further, it is divided another, that is a nematoda, right? Then there is one thing. There is no body cavity, right? Means inside the body there is a node cavity. What is body coelom or body cavity? Try to understand. We have our body, right? Inside our body, there is between the intestine, between this digestive canal. So we have the digestive canal that start from the mouth and end up at the anus, right? Between that, means between that digestive system and between that are our tissues, our body wall, there is a space. That space is called coelom, right? And that coelomic space is filled with some organ. What kind of the organ? Like we have the liver, we have heart, we have, so all these organs are arranged in a coelomic cavity, right? So coelenterate, right? If we talk about the coelenterata, means Hydra, there is a no body cavity, means no coelom. But there are some animal like nematoda. So nematoda are basically round worm, right? Ascaris. So there are pseudocoelom. There is no true coelom, right? But there are certain more advanced organisms where true coelom is present, right? So true coelom is present in those organisms, and which are those organisms? Try to understand. So further, true coelom, again the true, on the basis of coelom we divide into 2 categories, right? The mesoderm cells from single cell during the growth of the embryo, right? Mesoderm, Annelida, Mollusca, and Arthropoda. These 3 phylum. Then coelom formed from the pouches of pinches of, just avoid this one, right? Echinodermata. So true coelom have, you have to remember which of the organism have true coelom, which have the false coelom, right? So true coelom is found in these annelids, mollusca, arthropoda, echinodermata, and chordata. They have the true coelom. Pseudocoelom is found in nematoda, and acoelomate, which do not have coelom, they are the coelenterata and porifera, right? They do not have coelom. So coelomic cavity, it is asked sometime. I have seen the question, which of the following are acoelomate, or which of the following have the true coelom? You have to remember only nematoda are those which do not have, which have pseudocoelom. Means their coelom is there, but that is not the true coelom. Now we will see one by one the phylum. phylum Porifera. The phylum Porifera is called the phylum of sponges, right? So this is the sponges. Sponges are just collection of the cell. We know the body of sponges is made up of, it is divided into two layers basically. Try to understand. This is the anatomy of sponges. The outer surface of sponges is calcareous, right? Outer skin of the sponges is calcareous. This is outer calcareous skin. Calcareous means it is made up of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is deposited, and outer skin have some spine, right? So there are spicules. You can see there are some spicules, means the spines are present. So outer layer is epidermis, and inner layer is made up of collar cells, right? Collar cells have flagella. So there are two layers, epidermis and collar cell. Between these epidermis and collar cell, there is a liquid kind of the layer that is called mesohyl. I have told you mesoglia. This is not a layer. Why? Because they are the diploblastic. They are not the triploblastic. I have already told you that there are two kind of the yes. There are two type of the animal, diploblastic and triploblastic, right? So this is the outer calcareous skin. There are spicules, outer epidermis, middle collar layer, right? So this is their body, and this is the osculum. Osculum is the main opening of the what? Main opening of the sponges. And inside the osculum, there is a cavity that is called central cavity or spongiocele, right? Try to understand what happened. Water enter from these pores. There are certain pores. These pores are known as ostia, right? Right to understand. There are certain pores. These pores are called ostia. So all the pore water enter from the all the pore means from the all the ostia, and it goes inside. Water bring fresh oxygen, and water bring carbon molecules and some small animal fuels. These are eaten by these collar cell or flagellated cell, right? So that's how these sponges live. You can see over here digestion of the sponges. So you have to remember only what you need to remember, these kind of the cells, right? So these cells are called collar cell. Try to understand. So these collar cell, they are called coinocytes. Collar cell, when water enter into that, they eat these carbon particle. They take carbon particle inside, right? And they eat them through the phagocytosis. And the middle layer is made up of amoebocyte cell, amoeba-like cell, that is in liquid in form. So basically, these coinocyte cells or collar cells are meant for digestion in the sponges. Collar cells. The same thing. This is called osculum. Mesohyl means that is a liquid layer. Water goes inside. These arrows shows the water, and this is the spongiocele. We have already discussed. And there are the coinocyte cells. These coinocyte cells are known as the common collar cells. Right. This outer layer is called epidermal layer. Is that clear?
So
Yes, sir.
Now there are few points which you need to remember. The first and foremost point is that they are not found. Sponges are not found in cold water. Not found in cold water. Sponges will not be there in cold water, right? They are mostly marine, means mostly found in the sea. They are mostly marine, and few fresh water. Right? They are mostly marine and few in fresh water, right? And their symmetry can be, normally they are generally asymmetrical. So generally their body shape is not fixed, generally asymmetrical. Right? So body cavity is generally asymmetrical, and some are, but some are radially symmetrical. Some are radial symmetrical, right? And they are diploblastic, that I have already told you. they are diploblastic. As ectoderm and mesoderm is there, ectoderm is make the skin, and endoderm make the coinocyte shell, and mesoderm is not found. There is a mesoglia, right? And this system is called water canal system, right? So canal system, what is the canal system? Meant for food and oxygen transport. So canal system help in food and oxygen transport. Reproduction, one more important. How does they reproduce? Reproduction takes place through, right? So normally asexual reproduction takes place through, asexual reproduction is also found. So asexual reproduction takes place through budding, small bud come out, detach and become a new spawn, budding, and gamules. A small reproductive gamule formation take place. When the sponge, main mother sponge will die, this gamule will become a new spawn, right? And then sexual reproduction also takes place. Sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, they are hermaphrodite. What does it mean by hermaphrodite? They are hermaphrodite. Tell me, what are the hermaphrodite?
The sexes are not separate.
Yes, both of the sexes are found in the same body, right? They are the hermaphrodites. Same sponge will have male and female sex organ, right? And fertilization in internal, they can fertilize themselves. And internal fertilization. Tell me, is it clear or not? Tell me if you have any doubt. Coinocyte cell, you have to remember, they are hermaphrodite. That you have to remember. They are not found in the cold water. They are not found in the cold water. That you have to remember. Clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was something sponges. Now the next phylum is phylum Cnidaria. So basically, phylum Cnidaria is made up of this phylum is named after the cnidoblast cell. They have some cells they are called cnidoblast cell. Cnidoblast cells are basically stinging cell, right? With the help of cnidoblast cell, they sting some organism, and when they hit this organism with the cnidoblast cell, that organism get faint and they eat. That's how they hunt, right? And yes, these cnidarians are also found in the fresh water. This is Hydra viridis. It is a freshwater organism, right? So it look like a plant, but this is an animal. It have some tentacle, and tentacle have these cells. These cells are called neuroblast cells, right? It have a mouth, and mouth is called hypostome, right? This is ectoderm, mesoglia, and endoderm, right? So ectoderm, mesoglia, and endoderm. Fine. So there is a peduncle and basal disc, right? So basal disc hold it somewhere. This part is called peduncle, right? Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, it have three layer, right? So ectoderm, this ectoderm, it have outer epithelial layer and some cnidocyte cells. These are the stinging cells, right? Cnidoblast cells. They are stinging cell. Some interstitial cell. Interstitial cells are basically responsible for reproduction. They help in reproduction, right? And the cnidocyte cells, they are stinging cells, right? They are stinging cells. And inner side layer is made up of nutritive muscular cells. These nutritive muscular cell, which is made up of endoderm, this help in the digestion of food. They help in digestion of food. That's how the digestion is done, right? So Hydra is a representative organism, And after the nidocyte cells, the phylum have been made. A phylum have been named as Cnidarian, right? The body is radially symmetrical. So they have a radial symmetry. The body is radial symmetrical, right? And these are also, as you know, they do not have mesoderm, they have mesoglia cells. So body is diploblastic. This is diploblastic animal. They have tissue level of an organization. Tissue. So cellular level organization is found only in sponges. They have tissue level of organization. Right. Then third, nidoblast cell, I have told you, stinging cells, and this is digestive tract. So there is a single hypostome is mouth. So what kind of the arrangement? This is body have blind sac organization. Why? There is no mouth and anus separately. There is a hypostome, right? So reproduction is asexual through budding. Reproduction. A small bud come out, it get detached and become a small new hydra, right? So reproduction is, if it is asexual. In asexual reproduction, it takes place through budding. Sexual reproduction, also found. They also reproduce sexually, and they have the power of regeneration. They have the power of regeneration. That you need to remember. They have the power of regeneration is well developed. What does it mean? It means that if any part of the body is lost, that will be recovered, right? So that is the power of regeneration. That is remarkable and well developed power which is found over there. Tell me.
So how's the fertilization? Is it
Fertilization
internal
takes,
or external?
that is external. Here the fertilization external. Basically, that is out of your syllabus, but let me tell you. Actually, there is a polymorphism, right? Polymorphism is found in this hydra. What happened from here, from this hydra? Some small jellyfish-like organism come out. They are called medusa, right? So medusa are jellyfishes. They are the part of the hydra. They are the other form of the hydra, right? From these hydra, medusa come out. Means two jellyfish will come out. One jellyfish will have male part and another jellyfish will have female part, right? The male medusa will produce sperm and the female medusa will produce egg. Both are released in the externally, and both get fused in the water. After the fusion of that, formation of new hydra takes place. That's how the new hydra which is formed, that is called polyp, right? Polyp. And then it will become a new hydra. So that is a very complex sexual fertilization is found in hydra. But that polymorphism is not in your syllabus. That's why I'm not telling. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any more doubt? Okay. Next, Ctenophora. Ctenophora is a very simple kind of the. So previously this phylum was not there, but it's a new kind of the phylum. So they have some of the characteristic of this phylum matches with the characteristic of Cnidarians, right? So they also have the tentacle, right? So these are called tentacles. But these tentacles may be there or may not be there, right? That is also tentacles, right? And this structure, this is called mouth. This is mouth. And there is anus. It means they have the, this is anus. It means they have the complete digestive tract. Means there is a no, this is tube within tube plant, right? And these are called lateral pits. Lateral pit, right? These are the lateral pits from where the tentacles come out, and these are the comb plate. These are called comb plate. These are comb plate. They are the comb plate, and they help in the swimming, right? Canal opening, lateral opening, that I have told you. And the name of this organism is pleurobronchia. Pleurobronchia. So pleurobronchia is a representative of this phylum that is called Ctenophora, right? And they are the most important thing. They are found only in salty water or marine water. They are exclusively marine. They are exclusively marine, right? Basically, they are found in the salt water. The next thing that they feed on the they feed on phytoplankton. Feed on plankton. Swim with the help of the cilia. Swim with the help of cilia, and they also have the power of regeneration. But that is not important. What is the question for you that you need to remember? They have the property of property of bioluminescence. What is that? Bioluminescence.
Glowing.
Yes. Property of bioluminescence is found. Means they emit the light. They emit light, right? So they emit the light and they can be seen. That is a well marked, right? So this is the property which is found only in this phylum, right? Bioluminescence property. Okay. So and firefly, they are the type of the insect, and the firefly they do not. That is not short of the bioluminescence. Basically, the light comes due to the excretion of the those. Scientific name, Marita, scientific name you need not to remember. Just you have to remember the example which I am telling, right? Because these examples, everywhere, these examples are the representative of their respective phylum, right, Marja? You have not to
But in
remember
the
their name.
questions in which I saw, they only asked, they didn't ask the common name, they used the scientific name.
Can you send me the question? I'll share with you when I will give you the paper. You'll find that basically they'll ask you question from the property of platyhelminthes and all that. The scientific name which you have seen, they will be basically from the your disease part, 12th class syllabus. There they will give you the scientific name. The disease part which I have taught you, there you will get the scientific name. Else you will get the question from planaria, you will get from the pleurobronchia.
Yes, sir.
So only scientific name you have to remember under two places. One from the your disease part, that 12th class part, disease part, and second microbiology part, use of the microbe and all that. Only these are the two chapters from there they will give you the question directly with the name of with the scientific name. Else here Here, here from this file, this chapter, this complete chapter, hardly you will get one question from the, hardly. A way back, right? Like when I was at your age, when I was in 12th class, on that time, this which the number of the questions in the NEET comes from the animal classification and plant classification. Now trend is reverse. You will get maximum question from the genetics. Okay. That's why I have covered this chapter in the last.
The same about the plant kingdom also.
Yeah, same thing with the plant kingdom. Hardly you will get one question. And mostly the question they ask from the algae, economic importance of algae, algin and all that, right? Or from some pigment and all that. So most of the question will be from algae. One question from algae you can expect, and one question means 4 mark weightages of animal and plant kingdom classification. So they have the least weightage. That's why I'm covering them in the last. And there are some chapter from you. I think in the 5-year, once in a 5-year, I will get the question like there is a chapter improvement of the crops and all that. Okay, so locomotion takes place with the help of comb plate. So comb plate help in movement, right, and locomotion. So comb plate are meant for the locomotion and movement, and again they are diploblastic animal, that you need to remember. Diploblastic animal. Digestive tract is complete as anal and mouth both are the present. No blind sac plant. Digestive tract is complete. Why? As mouth and anus both are present. So we will say that the digestive tract is complete. Nervous system is found. Nervous system is present but poorly developed. I have told you there was a question, which of the animal do not have nervous system? Tell me. They are hermaphrodite. Come on, guys! I have already told you in that that chapter in the neural system chapter. Which organism, which animal do not have neural system? Come on, tell me.
Sponges.
Very good. Sponges do not have neural system. They are hermaphrodite. They may be hermaphrodite or bisexual, right? Fertilization is external. Fertilization is external. One more important thing, asexual reproduction is not found. Now you will see gradually asexual reproduction will disappear and sexual reproduction will become more complex. Asexual reproduction is not present. Tell me if you have any doubt in this phylum.
Sir, they also have a common passage for the excretion and
Common passage for?
the intake of food and the excretion.
No. I have already told you. This is the mouth is there and anus is upper side. So there is a different passage. That's why the digestive tract is complete. If there will be any, if there will be a common passage, then it will not be a tube within tube plant. We will call it blind sac plant. right? So this was the Ctenophora. Next phylum is Platyhelminthes, means the phylum of the flatworm, and the representative of Platyhelminthes is this. This is the what we call this? What we call this?
Tapeworm.
Tapeworm, right? Tapeworm. So tapeworm is the representative organism of. It is the representative organism of this phylum, right? So this tapeworm is look like tape, inchy tape that we use for that tailored tape that is used the same kind. So this tapeworm, or its scientific name is Taenia solium, basically. Taenia solium, right? Tapeworm or Taenia solium can be up to 7 meter. It can be up to 7 meter in length. It can be up to 7 meter in length. Look, this head part is called scolex. Scolex have rostellum, that is a mouth sucker, and it have hook, right? And they are also the sucker. So what it do? It anchor in intestine of human, right? It anchor with the help of hook. It anchor in the intestine of human, and it eat the half digested food of the human and make them weaker. And their body is segmented, right? So these segments are what we call these segment. These segments are called proglottids, right? These segments are called proglottids. These proglottid will break down, and from every proglottid, suppose that this proglottid break down, and due to breakage of proglottid, what will happen? Suppose that it is broken proglottid, broken proglotid. So from broken proglottid, new organism is formed. New organism is formed. Okay, so from broken proglottid, new organism is formed. Okay, so this is the and one more thing, that this tapeworm and Taenia solium, I have told you, by the way, but I don't think that you might be remember. What kind of the respiration they have? Tell me. I have told you already. Check it in the respiratory system. It is there. I have written in that thing. What kind of the respiration they do? Come on, quick. They have
Is it cutaneous?
anaerobic respiration. They do not require oxygen. Normally, platyhelminthes, they have the cutaneous respiration, but Taenia solium have anaerobic respiration, right? It shows the anaerobic respiration that you need to remember, right? And every proglottid that gives mature proglottid, it falls, and that's how the reproduction takes place. It make a new organism, right? So the most of the flat or worm, they are mostly parasitic. They are mostly parasitic, right? Do not have true segmentation. That is not true segmentation. Do not have true segmentation. Means pseudo segmentation. Externally body is segmented, but internally the body is not segmented, right? They have bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry is found over there, right? They are the triploblastic. So you have to remember, they are the first organism which are the triploblastic. That is the question. They are triploblastic. So in animal classification, the first triploblastic animals are flatworm, right? They are first triploblastic animal. They have ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Mesoderm and endoderm. So body is divided, made up of 3 layers. So they are the triploblastic. Next thing, That platform have organ system, means organs are found. They have organ level of organization. Look, before the platform, there was no organ level of organization. So they are the first organism which have organ level of organization. And till the pleurobronchia, there is a tissue level of organization. Sponges have this cellular level of organization, right? And digestive tract normally is not present, right? Why? Because they do not require that. They are parasite, they take nutrition from some other body, right? Digestive tract if present, but if sometime exceptionally if present, digestive tract if present, this will be incomplete. Means there are no mouth and anus separately, will be incomplete. All right. Gaseous exchange through body wall generally, but you have to remember that is the question that tinea soleum is anaerobe. Nervous system is present. Nervous system present. And reproductive, they are hermaphrodite. And reproductive organ are well developed. Right. So this is the, and this organism, this is called planaria. Why I have shown it? Look, planaria is like this is the ganglia. So ganglia, what is the ganglia? Ganglia is the collection of the neuron, right? In lower organism, ganglia work as a brain. Work as brain, right? First important thing. Then they are both ventral nerves cord. This nerve cord runs across the body, right? And that is the nervous system. There is a gastrovascular cavity, right? And this is pharynx, which is meant for the respiration. There are eye spot which sense the light, right? It sense light. So light sensitivity is feel by this one. A very important thing, if you will cut down this plane area into 10 pieces, every piece will become new plane area. They have highest regenerating power is found over there. Highest regenerating power. Regenerative power is found. Right, now tell me if you have any doubt. Tell me, guys.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, then come to the Escalmenthes. Escalmenthes, that is the roundworm. Phylum of roundworm. Roundworm is represented by these two Ascaris lumbricoid, right? Ascaris lumbricoid, the male will be smaller and the female will be larger, right? So look, the male will be smaller and it will be like hook-like structure, right? There is a pineal CT. This is the reproductive organ of the male one, right? And cloacal aperture, right? This is the cloacal. Normally, the cloacal aperture is that from where they lay the egg, or it is also used for the uh, removal of the fecal material, right? And this is the curved tail. Lateral line is present. They have the excretory pore. and triradiate mouth with lips, means mouth is present but lips is also found. And this is the female, which is the larger one, and female have its the anus here, right? Female is larger. Both are white in color, right? So their color and their body is cylindrical. So that's why they are known as the roundworm. Right? Many of them are parasite in plant and animal. Many of them are parasite in plant and animal. Plant and animal, right? Some of them are free living. They are not parasite. Free living and found in all habitat. Found in fresh water, sea water, and terrestrial as well. Means on the land as well, right? Then body is cylindrical and unsegmented. Cylindrical and unsegmented body. And alimentary canal is complete, means mouth and anus is both present. So we will say that alimentary canal is complete. Canal. Alimentary canal is complete, and some organs are absent. So skeletal, respiratory, and circulatory system absent. Circulatory system absent. So basically, these three systems are not found, right? And gases exchange takes place through the body wall. So need not to tell. Skeletal, respiratory, and circulatory. What else is important? Yes, their excretory system is important. That is the question. What I'm making as a star, these are the questions which have already been asked, right? To try to understand. They can again be asked again, right? So excretory system, they have a particular kind of the cell. Excretory system consists of gland cell. Consists of gland cell. That you need to remember. Name gland cell. So gland cell is excretory system, and ammonia is excretory product. Nervous system is present. That is nervous system is present, and sexes are separate. So at you can see sexes are separate, male and female separate. Sexes are separate. That is dioecious. Male and female are different, right? And they have the sexual dimorphism, means male and female look differently. They have sexual dimorphism. And Ascaris lumbricoid, this animal name is Ascaris lumbricoid. Normally it affect the very small kid It do not affect the adult one. So they go into intestine of small kid and they causes ascariasis, right? So ascaris, lumbricoid. Lumbricoid. Ascaris lumbricoid. It is the giant roundworm and causes ascariasis. It causes ascariasis disease. These worms go inside the intestine of the young children and then absorb their food, and that's why they causes anemia and malnutrition in those children, right? So that's what one more important thing which you need to note down. From this phylum, there is one more. We have already discussed, by the way, this in the 12th class syllabus. So the name is Wuchereria bancrofti. Who will tell that what is causes?
Elephantiasis.
Very good. Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti. This is filaria worm. It causes filaria, right? And filaria is also known as elephantiasis. Elephantiasis. We have already discussed this thing in detail, so need not to discuss over here. And one very important thing with this Wuchereria bancrofti, do not lay the egg. That is also a very important question. It is viviparous, mean it give directly birth to the worm. It is viviparous. Now tell me if you have any question. This point you need to remember. Clear? Next phylum is Annelida. Annelida means itself, that is segmented body, or phylum of the segmented animal with the segmented body. Their body is segmented, right? So this is the, I have shown this diagram to show you something, that this is the brain part. So basically brain is present. And I have told you that in a small organism or in the organism which are the lower organism, the brain is just a collection of ganglia. It's not like the brain like human, right? So brain is found, right? And these dorsal and ventral nerve, uh, there are these are called accessory herds, right? So number of herds are present. So these are just heart-like structure. They are not actual heart. So number of herds are found over here. Mouth is present. So this is the main heart. And look, this is the coelomic cavity. I have already told you. This is the digestive tract, which is the complete over here. Means why? Because mouth is present, anus is present. So we can see. And the excretory organs are present, blood vessels are present. So blood vessel circulatory system is also found, right? And nervous system is found, you can see. And digestive tract is, so digestive system is found. This is the segmentation of the body, you can see. This is the, so the body is segmented, right? So one more thing, this part is called clitellum, right? Female gonopore means female reproductive pore. It is found in the 14th segment. And male gonophore, it is found into 18th segment, right? Genital papilla means its penis-like structure. It is found in the 17th segment. So segments are also given, and this structure is called clitellum. Its thick structure is called clitellum. All these organs are present around the clitellum. Its mouth is called prostomium. There is a cap-like structure protrude in the mouth. So first segment of the mouth lock structure, that's called prostomium, right? And let me tell you, the annelids are found. They are found in, basically they are found in the moist environment. So they are found in fresh water, found fresh water, moist soil, and marine water. Moist soil and marine. Next thing, the annelid, they have the bodies, so they have metameric segments. They have metameric segmentation. So I have told you what is the metameric segmentation. So metameric segmentation is what. So bodies externally divide like externally divide like groups. These groups are known as annuli. And internally by, and so metameric segmentation is true segmentation. So bodies externally as well as internally divide, and internally divide by transverse septa. Internally divide by transverse septa, and segments every segment. So every segment is known as metamere. Every segment is known as metamere, right? So one more very important thing that can be questioned. This metamere is also questioned, right? This is metameric segmentation, that is also very important. And this can be the question. This type of the question I have seen. So actually, you can see their lower part, they have hair-like some structure. So these structures are called parapodia, right? So so here they are called CT. So CT or parapodia are meant for the locomotion, right? So CT or parapodia meant for locomotion. So for locomotion, so what is the CT? CT is something like hair-like structure are found in the lower surface. Parapodia, they are something like leg-like structure. So CT or parapodia, they are the uh, they are CT or parapodia are the structure which help in the locomotion and movement. Digestive tract is complete. Digestive tract is complete. I have already told you, as mouth and anus is present, so obviously digestive tract will be complete. And true coelom is present. True coelom is present. So they are coelomorph. And respiration cutaneous through body wall. Respiration is cutaneous. Cutaneous, and that is the through body wall. So respiration takes place. They do not have a special respiratory organ which are meant for the respiration. Vascular system is present, right? And what is the question? Question is that leech leech belongs to this phylum. Leech do not have true blood vascular system. Blood vascular system. The rest of the annelid, they have the true vascular system, right? True blood vascular system. Excretory organ, nephridia. So there are particular kind of the cell, exclusive kind of the cell. Excretory organ are nephridia. That you need to remember. I'm just making the star over here. Nephridia. That is nephridia. And ammonia is chief excretory product. So ammonia is chief excretory product which is excreted out. They are hermaphrodite. Unisexual. So unisexual and bisexual, both are found. So an elite can be both unisexual as well as bisexual. In bisexual, earthworm and leech, that is important question. That question I've been asked. Bisexual, so leech is bisexual. Means they will have both sex in the same organism. And earthworm is bisexual. So where they are unisexual, where the sexes are different, means different organism have different sex, right? Nereis. Nereis. So Nereis is unisexual. That you need to remember. Tell me if you have any doubt.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Arthropoda. Arthropoda means the jointed appendages or with the jointed, the animal with the joint leg, right? So they will always have their leg always will be jointed. So this is the scorpion. So a scorpion, this part, this is which is the forceps like part, which it help with the help of this part, it capture some prey and all that, right? So this part is called uh, pedipalp. This question have been asked. Okay, so there is a some mouth-like structure. This is called chelicera. Chelicera. They have literal eyes, right? Actually, they have 3 pair of eyes, right? And there are legs, walking legs for walking, and okay, their body is divided into 3 segments. So basically, they will always have the joint leg. So that is the main property of the arthropodas, right? So, and there are much more in the arthropoda. So let me tell you what is the first. This is the largest phylum of the plant kingdom, animal kingdom. Largest phylum of, which is the second largest? Largest phylum of,
Sir, mollusca.
very good, mollusca. Very good. Animal kingdom with 90,000 species. And only 10% arthropods are known. I'm sorry, not 90,000, 9 lakh species. With 9 lakh species. And you know, we know only 10% of the arthropod. The rest of the 90% of the arthropod are still need to be discovered. They occur in all habitat. Means land, water, marine water, sweet water, and everywhere, right? So they have jointed leg. and body is segmented. Have jointed leg and body is segmented. Body is divided into divided into head, thorax and abdomen. Right? So body is divided into three parts, and they have exoskeleton, exoskeleton is made up of cuticle. Right? So exoskeleton is made up of cuticle, and they have true silo. That I have already told you from the classification. You have to learn it directly from the classification, which are only they are the roundworms are the pseudocoelomate. They have open circulatory system that I have already told you. Open circulatory system. So open and closed circulatory system I have already discussed in the part of the circulatory system. And the body cavity that remains filled with the blood. They have the blood, but their blood is colorless. Complete alimentary canal. Complete alimentary canal is found. And yes, respiration, even respiration I have told you. What are the respiratory organ? Respiration takes place, I have already told you, in the respiratory system itself. What are the respiratory organ? Come on, it means you are not
Yes.
gills and book lungs and trachea. So respiration takes place through body, book, lung, and trachea, right? Nervous system is well developed. They have the brain. Nervous system and brain is found. Again, the brain is made up of brain is present. I have a question. If you will cut down the head of a cockroach, still it will survive for a week. Why? It won't die.
It has a part of his nervous system in it.
Sorry,
It has nervous system, part of nervous system in it.
where that is present nervous system.
In head.
In head do not have. Otherwise, if nervous system is present at the head, it will die. You know, its head, that is the ganglia part, that is not found in the head actually. When you cut down the head, so nervous system is present behind the head part, right? So the next segment, first segment, other than the head, right? So when you cut down the head, it died due to the starving. It do not die due to the damage of nervous system, right? So head is not there, but nervous system is present. That's why it survived. But if head is not present, how it will eat? So it will die due to the starvation. Antenna, they are the sense organ. Antenna. And compound eye are present. Compound eye are present. Right. Antenna and compound eye are present. So what are the compound eye? That is also called multifaceted eye. If you'll see the eye of a fly, eye of a mosquito, all the insect, their eyes are made up of small tiles, right? These tiles are known as facets. As multiple facets, so these kind of the eye, they are called multifaceted eyes, right? And these eye are also known as the compound eye, right? Compound eye are made up of multiple facets, and they have the so every tiles have a different every tiles will make a different picture, right? So this kind of the vision is known as the mosaic vision. So all the insects, they will have mosaic vision, they will have multifaceted eye, or you can say they have the compound eye. Is it clear or not? Tell me, this is important. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No cilia. Insects do not have ciliary epithelium. No cilia is found. No cilia is present. Right? They do not have cilia-like structure, and this is important. This point. Remember this point. Muscles are generally stripped. They have stripped muscles. Muscles are generally stripped. So they have a stripped muscle. And endocrine glands are present, means hormones are present. Endocrine gland, that is hormone gland. Hormone are present, right? So endocrine glands are found, and they show sexual dimorphism. I mean, male female can be discriminated. They show sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means dimorphism. In morphologically, there are two organisms, right? Male and female. Right? Humans have sexual dimorphism. Male and female are different in the shape and structure, right? And fertilization is internally. Fertilization is internal, and they are mostly oviparous. Mostly oviparous, right? So this is all about the insecta. And if you have any doubt, tell me. There is an organism. Please note down this question have been asked multiple times. Note. And I have discussed this multiple times. There is an organism that is known as the limulus, right? Limulus. Limulus is also known as the king crab or horseshoe crab. King crab or horseshoe crab. This is known as living fossils. This is called, very good, Marita, very good. Living fossils. Why? This is called living fossil. Because it is unchanged. It have not changed anything. It is unchanged since 190 million years. It is found as it is since 190 million years. There is no change in limulus or horseshoe crab. That's why it is called living fossils, right? So that's it for the day. I want to complete this chapter, but unfortunately, there are few phylum like mollusca is left, echinodermata is left, hemichordata is left, and chordata. 4 phylum is left, and chordata is the bigger one, right? So I need one more class for this completion of this batch 1 syllabus, right? So I'll complete next class. Then we will move to the batch 2 syllabus. That is the family part, right? So go through your home, and after the class.